Good evening, my name is Arturo de la Peña and this is my literature review for my thesis project. It will be in Xilam, which is a Mexican martial art, a pre-Hispanic martial art based in three different styles of combat: Mayan, Aztec, and Zapotec, who has been recently resurrected by a female martial arts practitioner and historian. First, an introduction. This project will be aimed towards martial art enthusiasts. Of those, we have over 15,000 only in Mexico City and surroundings. We do not have exact data of how many people practices martial arts in the country, but we have ways of knowing how popular it is because of expos and competitions being held within the city. For this project, we will have first-hand experiences by the founder herself, Profesora Maricela Ugalde. And on those previous interviews that I have already done with her, we have found two main points of conflict. The first one being malinchismo. Malinchismo is a word used by us Mexicans to denote a feeling that sometimes domestic things are inferior to everything foreigner. So when this first Mexican martial art was introduced, there was the feeling among many Mexicans that this Mexican martial art was inferior to many Asian or Israeli martial arts. Also, the second point of conflict was the fact that the founder is a girl, is a woman, is a female. So they thought that it was softer, it was not as effective as is the founder was a man. But on the other side, we have the rise and popularity of MMA and boxing inside this country. As we have talked about, there is a rising in popularity in MMA, but also in Xilam. It is still not very well known. But 4 years ago, it was known to no one. Now there are a few people who are already aware of this martial art. So this is a good time to do that because by March, April, by the time this thesis project is completed, there will be a Xilam-based theater play which will feature some of the techniques and the philosophy behind this martial art. Also, we have now the Ultimate Fighter Season 18, which for the first time has featured an all-female cast. And the coaches, current champion Ronda Rousey and contender Miesha Tate, serve as hostess. This story is newsworthy because it's a story of human history, interest. It has an extraordinary central character in Professor Maricela Ugalde herself, who, besides being a martial artist, practitioner, and master, she is also a mother and she is a patriot, for she has devoted her entire life to give more meaning and to research part of our ancient and often neglected past. According to Expo Artes Marciales, last year's edition was visited for over 15,000 people. So it has gathered a lot of interest. And for Xilam, this will be their in the 2014 edition will be its fourth time being presented. And in this 4 years span, they went from having only one Xilamkali, which is their dojo, to having 5. So there is the interest. People are gathering to see this combat system in action. Fairness. I will focus in 2 points of view. The first one will be the human side of the founder herself, her struggles for presenting a Mexican martial art, and also because of her condition as a woman. And second, the development, how the research go, how it was at the beginning, who the first students were. For that, I will have multiple interviews and sources These interviews will be current black belts, former students, and also other colleagues and even military staff willing to give credit to this martial art. For my first interview, I will have the founder herself, Professora Maricela Ugalde, who will tell us a little bit about how this art came about, her background, and also what is being done now to keep increasing its awareness. Second place will be Professor Oscar Jimenez, who's also a Chinese martial arts master and is the organizer for Expo Artes Marciales, and he is willing to validate Shilam's credentials. About the competition, how my project is different from what is out there. First of all, Shilam is, even though it's getting to be more known, is still not a mainstream martial art. It's not karate, it's not jiu-jitsu, it's not aikido. There are really few people who know this, so it's still a very interesting subject. There are a few videos on YouTube, but they focus more on the techniques of Shilam, and I will not do that. I will focus more on the creation and development of this art. My target audience are males 18 to 24 years of age, fans of sports and action-adventure movies, who live in Mexico City and surroundings. I had come about to this target audience through my Google Analytics, which shows that this is the kind of people that visits most my website. But also, as I have mentioned, and because of the nature of the story, and also the rise of popularity of the UFC and MMA with Ronda Rousey recently, there is also a lot of potential for girls to be interested in this story in particular. Conclusions. There has been an enormous rise of interest in culture here in Mexico. The government has made a tremendous effort to promote everything that is related to our past. That's why that Shilam theater play that was commented in the previous slides will have the government support. And since tourism represents the fourth source of income in this country, this story has all the potential to grab the attention of not only nationals but also from people from abroad. Nevertheless, I will focus on my nationals. This is a slide that shows the web sources I will use. Those three I got from EBSCOhost. And those two are books, physical books that I will be using for completing my work. Thank you very much for your time. Have a nice day.